Alright, so today I'm back with yet another chapter review, and today we will go over chapter 301, which is pretty crazy, as we will first see Ness and KAISER argue before the Blue Lock players get to finally celebrate how far they have come. But I don't want to say too much, as you will just have to sit back and watch to find out what happens. Anyway, please leave a like and a comment, as well as join the Discord server. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's get into it. So to begin chapter 301 with the text saying, "The Neo-Egoist League is over." That last goal changed the lives of KAISER and Ness, and we then see the players beginning to walk out. We see Loki, who I know is thinking back to when Isagi owned him earlier, and then we have Noah, who's probably looking back as he can feel Isagi's aura. We then see Lavinho and Chris Prince walking side by side and smiling, and if I'm honest, then I don't know why they are smiling, as they are basically the losers of the Neo-Egoist League. But anyway, we then see KAISER, who's slowly walking away before he stops and looks back. Behind him, he sees Ness, and he asks Ness why the hell he is following KAISER. Ness is trying to play it cool and nonchalant, so he doesn't say anything, which makes KAISER do his regular emo pose by putting his hand against his face and telling Ness that it's enough, explaining that the KAISER that Ness believed in was just an illusion and that in reality, KAISER is shit. Finally, he takes away his hand and looks right towards Ness and says that they are broken, and once again tells him to get lost. Ness, however, just looks dead as he's staring down KAISER before he coldly just says no and that he will still be by KAISER's side. This only makes KAISER angrier as his eyes begin to twitch. He then starts speaking louder and he asks Ness if he's good in the head, telling Ness that he threw him away for the sake of victory and yet he lost to Isagi, calling himself a piece of shit, humiliating the world with his existence. Ness is still just quiet. Meanwhile, KAISER's crash out only gets worse as he begins to scream towards Ness and tells him to stop clinging to a piece of trash like KAISER himself. And we can really see that KAISER is beginning to get truly mad here. But Ness doesn't budge as he once again just tells him no and that he won't do as he is told anymore. And I have no idea when Ness got this much confidence. However, I like this new version of him. Even KAISER can't believe what Ness has just said as he looks at him in total shock. But Ness's eyes just get wider as he looks intensely at KAISER and says that he isn't a piece of trash, but that he instead is just a flesh and blood human being, which I don't know, just sounds kind of corny. KAISER looks like he is about to break down and that he doesn't know what to do. Meanwhile, Ness's eyes get lit with a fire, making him even more serious as he tells KAISER that with his ego, he will cast a spell on KAISER's broken self, which I can't wait for, as I need to see what Ness will do to transform KAISER, because right now, KAISER has lost pretty much everything. Anyway, under them, we have the offers for the non-Blue Lock players, and there we see that KAISER got a 400 million offer from Real, Lorenzo got a 280 million offer from Ubers, Ness got himself a 130 million offer from Bastard Munchen, and Charles got a 110 million offer from PXG, and last but not least, Aggie got an 80 million offer from Manshine City. We then get back to the real stars, which are, of course, the Blue Lock players, and the announcer starts speaking as he says that the 23 players who survived the Neo-Egoist League should please have some rest in their stratum, because the next itinerary will be tomorrow at 9 AM. He tells them to please wear designated suits and get on the shuttle bus, which I guess we just fast forward to right away, as we see everyone sitting on the bus. Now it's a bit hard to see who is who right now. However, I find it funny that Kunigami is holding his ears while Yukimiya tries to talk to him. Also pretty funny how Rin is just sitting by himself, really acting out his emo personality. Meanwhile, Jigiri is looking for someone else to talk to, as Rio probably isn't in the best mood right now. Anyway, we then get to Bachira, who says that this might be the first time that he's wearing a fancy suit. Nanase agrees and asks Hiyori if he's tied his necktie alright, but of course he hasn't, so Hiyori tells him that he will do it for him. We then see Baru, who asks why the windows are dark and says he can't see anything. Meanwhile, Otoya just randomly says, "millionaire," probably referring to his bid, and Zantetsu wants to feel included, so he just says that it's free, which I don't really get. But alright. Karasu then asks them where they are going. Meanwhile, Sendao looks ecstatic as he is thinking that they might go to a meeting with journalists, or maybe even a live stream. Aryu then looks over to Sendao and realizes that this might be his debut. Nico on the side is caught off guard and says that he is stressed and wonders if anyone has wax for his hair. We then see Rin, who's probably so done with them as he just thinks about how loud they are while he is trying to sleep. We also have Rio, who's just looking out the window, probably rethinking his life. Hey, it's Natsu mid-editing here, and I just wanted to pause the video to ask you to subscribe if you haven't already, and while you're already down there, why not leave a like as well? We then see Isagi, who is doing the same thing, while Gagamaru is sleeping right next to him. Isagi then thinks back to when he told Nagi not to quit soccer and thinks that it was all that he could say. He then starts to wonder what Ryo is thinking right now and admits that, to be fair, he himself still can't get his head around that Nagi is gone. Suddenly, the announcer says that they have arrived, and everyone looks back, and Bachira is happy to hear that and asks them where they are and what they are going to do. But he doesn't get much of an answer, as the announcer then starts to pull down the windows on the bus and tells them that right now, for those 23 who survived the Neo-Egoist League, they will hold a victory parade in Roppongi. And as he's pulled down the windows, we can see that a massive crowd of fans has gathered all around them and are all celebrating them. Bachira is shocked to see so many people, and Chigiri thinks that they are truly stars now. Meanwhile, Isagi is just in pure awe and can't believe it. After that, all of them go out on the roof of the bus to celebrate with the fans. Some girls instantly spot Otoya, and they say that they love him. Otoya calls it cute and asks if they want to hop in, but Karasu pulls him aside and tells him that it's not a good idea and calls him an idiot. Hiyori is amazed at the big event that they have gathered, and Yukimiya says that it's the influence of Blue Lock TV. Bachira is as happy as ever, and he screams that he loves them all. Chigiri waves towards the fans and he tries to get Kunigami to wave as well, but he just tells Chigiri to shut up. We then have Shidu and Rin, who are just stone-faced and don't say anything. That can't be said for Sendao though, who screams at everyone to follow his Instagram. Luckily, Aiku is there to pull him back and tells him to calm down. We then have Nico, Kiora, and Gagamaru, who's just doing peace signs to everyone, which is kind of wholesome. But then we finally get to the main man, Isagi, who looks at everyone and is in pure amazement as he realizes that they were able to cause such enthusiasm. We then see a whole bunch of people just screaming Isagi's name and being ecstatic to see him. He looks at them with big eyes and says that this is sport and that this is entertainment and the power of football. He then grabs tight to the metal bar and says that it feels so good, but at the same time he feels so scared. Thinking that one can become a hero with a single blow and fall just as easily, calling it a world of the best and worst outcomes. However, as he sees everyone calling his name, he thinks that it's exactly why he won't get satisfied, and he then throws his fist out towards the crowd. His eyes start to burn with a super intense feeling as he thinks that until the moment he becomes the best in the world, he will go beyond this scenery, and he won't go back to the world without football. We then go back to Nagi, who's just gone home and says that he's home as he drops his bag while looking miserable. But at the bottom it says that there are only 50 days left to the U20 World Cup. The ending text says that just like Choki, Nagi didn't change and just came back to his ordinary life. Now for some good news, there's no break next week, which is awesome, and the next chapter will be called That's Enough or I'm Done, which sounds like it will be about Nagi, but let me know what you think it could mean down in the comments. Anyway, so let's go over this chapter. Now firstly, I want to talk about KAISER and NESS. Now I don't think that KAISER tried to get rid of NESS because he was bored of him or anything like that. I truly believe that KAISER wanted to try and give NESS the best way that he could evolve in, which he thought would be on his own. However, I'm glad to see NESS sticking with KAISER, and I'm honestly super excited to see what plan and strategy NESS has planned for the two of them. Now, it might be a bit difficult if KAISER accepts the offer because they will then play in different clubs, but let's wait and see what happens. Now Blue Lock getting the recognition they deserve made me so happy. It was so cool seeing everyone who noticed them and who has watched the entire Neo-Egoist League, and I feel like it made the Blue Lock players a lot more pumped and hyped as they are finally able to realize how much impact they have had on Japanese football. Anyway, please let me know what you thought about this chapter and what you think will happen in the next chapter. Anyway, if you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment and a like, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye.